Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today we're talking about the art of jamming, and more specifically, how to play the blues in every key. So what I'm going to do for you is show you how you can transpose blues chord progressions, and then give you a little bit of advice on what to do when it's your turn to take a solo. Let's get started. Alright, so a close look at the guitar neck, and we're talking about how to play the blues in every key. So to do this, we're going to be using what's called a power chord shape. So a power chord is the first and fifth note of the major scale played in harmony. So if I play my major scale, extract out those first and fifth notes, I have a power chord, in this case in the key of A, because my first finger is playing an A note. This is a very useful chord because I can play this on any fret, commonly on both the E and A strings and even the D string, to achieve a ton of really cool simplified chuggy chords. Okay, so to achieve the blues in every key, we're going to take this chord and we're going to make an L shape out of it. Okay, so that means I'm going to take this A power chord, move it down one string, and I've got a D power chord, move it up a whole step, complete the L shape, and I have an E power chord. So I have the 1, 4, 5 blues chord progression. We call it 1, 4, 5 because the root notes that we're playing here with our first fingers are the first, fourth, and fifth notes of the major scale. So that's what they're talking about when they say 1, 4, 5. Okay, it's called chord notation. So I apply a pattern of beats to each of these chords. 16 beats here on the A typically, 8 beats here on the D chord typically, okay, back to the A chord for another 8 beats. I go up to the 7th fret E chord for 4, 4 on the D, and then I'm back here on the A chord for 8 more beats. That's 16, 8, 8, 4, 4, 8. Alright, let me demonstrate that for you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to the 1 chord. Here we go. A. That's 8 beats. I go up to the E chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was my D. Back to the A chord. 8 more beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, that's a really easy chord progression to get down, okay? Just basic power chord shape, and I can take that and move it to any key. All I need to do is start on a different fret. So let's say I want to take this down 1 fret. Now I have a G sharp blues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 beats here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's a ton of things you can do to make that chord progression a little bit more interesting. For example, a lot of times when you get to that 5 chord and you're going to the 4, it would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do a little walk down. Alright, so these are really basic chords, easy to move around from, and super easy to transpose. All you need to know, the L shape, we call that 1, 4, 5. You can do that in any key. And produce a great blues chord progression. Alright, so we're back to the key of A. Your buddy's holding down the chord progression, 1, 4, 5. And it's your turn to take a guitar solo. So what do? You go to the blues scale. So let's go over that scale real quick. It's the first finger on the A note, that's the 5th fret of the E string, up to the 8th fret, it's a C note. Then on the A string, we're going 5, 6, 7. On the D string, 5, 7. On the G string, 5, 7, 8. On the B string, 5/8, and on the high E string, 5/8 as well. So when someone starts that blues progression for you, you're just gonna copy that same position, go through the box, and anything you play in that box is gonna sound great. So A blues scale. And then we have a great tool to practice playing lead guitar. Okay, so that's a concept that you can take to any key. So let's say your buddy's playing you a C blues. He just takes this L-shaped chord progression up to the 8th fret. He's holding it down, your turn to take a solo. Just start grabbing notes out of that blues scale. Alright, to give you a basic understanding of what the mindset of a soloist is, basically you're trying to get back to the roots of the chord. So, over top of that one chord, or in this case C, you're trying to play a C note. But you want to try to come up with an interesting way of getting there, something like this. Alright, so that was the 10th fret of the A string, the 8th fret of the D string, back and forth, and then here to the root, the C. So don't just play the root, you got to come up with some interesting ways. You can be unique in how you get there. But you're trying to resolve to make the audience a little bit more comfortable. So try to find maybe 5 different ways of how to get back to that C note. Then when the chord progression moves to the 4 chord, you try to find all of these notes. This is an F note, okay? So you're trying to take this F note and recreate it on different parts of the guitar neck, okay? So we have F notes all over the place. So we have C chord. I'm trying to get to a bunch of C notes in unique and interesting ways. Then the 4 chord comes. I'm trying to get to those notes as well. So anything I can do to kind of figure out a cool and interesting way of getting to the root of the chord. Then the last chord comes out in the progression. I have the 5 chord. Then to the 4 chord. And back to the 1. Alright, so that's just a basic kind of way of navigating throughout the chord progression and a way to respond to what the chords are doing. That way my solo has a little bit of continuity to it and it's interesting for the listener. The best guitar players in the world, they know how to get to those roots in a lot of very interesting and oftentimes complicated ways, but they also know how to harmonize with the chords, and that's something that we can get into in a later lesson. So for right now, you're just practicing the chord progression. 1, 4, 5, and you're practicing your blues scale, trying to come up with interesting licks that get you to the roots of each of the chords. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I'm Rob from Swift Guitar Lessons. I hope you found this information to be helpful. I have plenty more videos coming up, so please subscribe and I'll be seeing you soon.